Welcome everyone to the first day of the Recuerda Cesar Chavez celebration. Today, I'd like to take some time to introduce our co-chairs for the Recuerda Cesar Chavez Committee, Linda Benavides and Valerie St. John, and our special guest is a national hero, Dolores Huerta. She took some time out of her day to share a special message with us and to reflect on the importance of the movement that we're in. So thank you for being here and welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Diego. I wanted to say welcome to everybody as well. As he said, I'm Linda Benavides, one of the co-chairs for the Recuerda Cesar Chavez. And we have our other one.
Okay, now I'm Valerie St. John, and I'm also one of the co-chairs, but I'm so proud to also say I'm also Dolores Huerta's cousin.
Yes, also related to Dolores. She's my prima. And we have to kind of say that really it's my husband that's the relation, but after being with him 40 years, Dolores, she's mine now. She's my prima.
She's yours.
Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you to everyone, of course, for joining us for our campaign, but I wanted to do some quick shout outs real quick if we could. First of all, I wanted to say a big thank you to several people that were involved, Chuy Martinez, Pablo Trujillo. We had Isaura Bernal and Eduardo that were in that did an interview, Michael Casals. We want to thank Ana Maldonado for doing the Day of Service video. We also want to thank Michael Casals for being involved, Santiago Candelaria, and Valerie, who is the one that chased all of the videos and the pictures and everything that we need to get together. Thank you, Valerie, for doing that.
Thank you.
As a co-chair, the two of us work very closely together, and so I appreciate what you do for us. So with that being said, let's interview Dolores. She's our special guest. She's the one we want to hear from.
I'm so happy to be here with all of you. And we know that we have so much work to do. One great thing about celebrating Cesar Chavez's legacy every year, the way that you have been doing it for all of these dozens of years there in New Mexico, it really kind of reminds people of the struggle that we are all in. We know that our struggle is not over yet. This pandemic has really put the spotlight on so many discrepancies that we have, especially with the Latina community and our indigenous communities that were hit so hard by the pandemic. And that to me is like a battle cry for all of us. And so it really shows us that in spite of our continuing struggles, that we cannot give up at this point in time. We have this critical moment in our history of our United States of America. And all of a sudden, hey, we Latinos, we are like right in the middle of all of the scenarios of all of the things that are happening right now. We know that our farm workers have been the essential workers that are still feeding everybody every single day. Even, they're out there working in the very hot temperatures that we've had here in California. We've had in New Mexico also. We know that in California, we've had all of these wildfires that are really a symptom of global warming, which is another thing we have to have on our agenda. And then because of the global all these wildfires that we have, there has been so much smoke in the air that the farm workers are having to try to work in the heat and in the smoke. And so many of them, of course, have suffered from COVID-19, and so many of them have died because they were not given the protective equipment that they needed when the pandemic broke out. Our foundation, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, we have been helping every way that we can. We have been having continual food banks in many parts of the Central Valley, not just one food bank, but we've had many food banks. We've raised money to be able to give some relief to some of these families, especially those that are undocumented, that were not eligible for the relief that they got from other places. But this is, of course, what we do, all of us together, and we have learned that by uniting and by working together, this is the way that we can serve the families that need us. And you in New Mexico, my gosh, what can I say? This is where the whole lessons of compassion, of service to others, this is the New Mexico legacy. We have to fight for everybody's human rights. And your celebration that you have every year is a constant reminder, not only of what we need to do, but also how to do it. By having the Dolores Huerta Service Day, I think that is such an honor to have that day named after me. And every year, and I know it's been difficult now because of the pandemic, and I don't know exactly how much service we can do, but one thing that we do know is that we can do the phone banking, and we can do calling out to people using our social medias to reach people in this right now in the pandemic where we can't do it physically. So the work continues. Even though we're sheltered and locked down, the work continues. And so New Mexico, Cesar Chavez Committee, you are such a blessing, and we want to thank you very much. And also me personally for all of the work that has been done to name the Bridge Street, the Dolores Huerta Street, and hopefully when the pandemic is over, we can have a big, big celebration. I thank you for continuing the celebration, even though it's a Zoom celebration, you haven't forgotten about us. And we do know that our journey for justice is a long one, and we are following the footsteps of Cesar Chavez and Ricardo Chavez, and the footsteps of John Lewis also, whom we lost, who was also a very big supporter of the farm worker movement and the Latino movement, the Dreamer movement. And so we've had all these wonderful, wonderful people that have worked for us in the past, and whose legacy we will continue. And one thing I do want to add is that sometimes this doesn't get enough attention, but the way that we were able to, really make all of the marches and the boycotts and the strikes and all of the work that the farm workers did to be able to finally get what they were marching for, what they were fighting for, like toilets in the fields, unemployment insurance, disability insurance, the right to organize, is because we had to vote. And we had to elect people that were going to make laws to make sure that we got the laws that said, yes, the growers have to provide toilets. They have to provide drinking water, relief periods, unemployment insurance, disability insurance, the right to organize into a union. So that voter registration, voter education, getting people to vote has been a core value, not only of the farm workers movement, but also of my foundation, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, to make sure we get people elected to office that have our values. So during this wonderful celebration, it's coming just on the eve of the election on November 3rd. So we just want to say to everybody, part of supporting the farm worker movement and my foundation, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, part of that celebration is that we're going to go out there and vote. And Abraham Lincoln said that the ballot is more powerful than the bullet. And this is really the way that we can get back at those that have attacked us, that have called us terrible names. And so this is our revancha, this is our revenge by voting. And when we vote, we can do this in Cesar Chavez's name, in Judge Ruth Ginsburg's name, in John Lewis's name, and all of the heroes and heroines that came before us. That's what we're doing, keeping the legacy alive. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am for everything that you have done and continue to do. Thank you very much.